All right, your Miami Dolphins complete the sweep on the Patriots, winning this one 31-17 and improving to 6-2, the first time they've had that record since 2001. But a very big bounce back win after losing that one in Philadelphia last week. Getting into the stats quickly. Tua Tagovailoa, 30 for 45, 324 passing yards, leading the league right now. 3 TDs, 1 interception. That interception was really weird. I'll talk about that in a bit. On the ground, Raheem Mostert, 13 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Wilson, 5 for 23. They couldn't really get much going on the ground, so that was a little bit annoying, but they had to go to the air, and that worked perfectly fine. In the receiving game, Jalen Waddle leading the team in receiving yards. I think that might have been the first time this year. 7 receptions for 121 yards and a touchdown. Tyreek Hill doing Tyreek Hill things. Now is over 1,000 receiving yards only through 8 games this year. 8 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. Smythe 3 for 28. Ahmed 4 for 16. Claypool 1 for 15, getting his first reception as a Dolphin. And then sacks wise, Jalen Phillips had 1. Christian Wilkins had 1. Bradley Chubb had 1, and that was it for the Dolphins. And then the interception, Jalen Ramsey, what a debut for him. I'll talk about that in a bit, but he came up with that interception. Mac Jones, 19 for 29, 161, 2 TDs, and that interception. On the ground, Ramondre Stevenson, 10 for 39. Rush defense showed up today. They had like some small big time runs like later in the game, but it was whatever. Ezekiel Elliott, 7 for 36. He had 1 long run. And then in the receiving game, Kendrick Bourne, 3 for 36 and a touchdown. Pharaoh Brown, 2 for 33. Hunter Henry, 3 for 28. Demario Douglas, 5 for 25. There wasn't much. Sacks-wise, Kyle Duggar had 1. Christian Barmore had 1. And that was basically it. And then Kyle Duggar also had an interception. But talking about this game, one thing I was a little bit worried about is that, of course, the Dolphins are leaving for Germany tomorrow, I think. Maybe on Tuesday, but I'm pretty sure it is tomorrow. Of course, for that Chiefs game. Next weekend, which is going to be a fun one. Germany, I think I said Germany. 9:30 a.m. next weekend. The previews, it's going to be a fun one. But one thing I was concerned about is this being a trap game, especially because the Patriots are coming off of that win versus the Bills last week, and but yeah, man, they ended up getting it done, winning this game by 14. My final score prediction for this game was 34-17, and it was 31-17. So I was really, really close, and honestly, they could have scored 7 if they wanted to at the end of the game. But either way, they got the win. That's all that matters. Now, big game before the bye week, next week in Germany versus the Chiefs. And then I'm going to make a separate video talking about the schedule after the bye week because it's really light. A little bit of a preview. I think it's the Raiders coming off the bye, then I think it's the Jets, and then in no order, the Titans, Commanders, then the Jets again, and then the tough stretch with like the Bills, Cowboys, and Ravens. But either way, just focusing on this game quickly, it was they started out slow. They forced a 3-and-out on the Patriots, and everyone was hyped because Jalen Ramsey was on the field for the first time. The place went wild when he was introduced. Because today was the defensive starters that were introduced at the start of the game. But Jalen Ramsey, let's just talk about him for a second. What a debut for him. Something about these guys making their Dolphins debuts against the Patriots. Waddle did it his rookie year. Tyreek Hill did it last year, week 1. And now Ramsey's doing it. His timeline to return when he first got injured was late November, early December. And he beat that by over a month. It is October 29th, and he is playing football when they said December was the most realistic option. So that's absolutely absurd to me. But Ramsey, I mean, it wasn't like he played limited snaps. He did say in his press conference, in his post-game interview, that he definitely wasn't supposed to play as much as he did today. But Dolphins fans loved every single second of it. First of all, Mac Jones barely threw the ball towards his side of the field, and one of the first times he did it, it was like a check down or screen pass to Ezekiel Elliott, I'm pretty sure it was, and Helmy head into the ball, knocked it out, and it was a flag on the offense, which was the Patriots, of course. So if they got the ball, it rolled out of bounds. But if the Dolphins got the ball, that would have been a forced fumble or it was a forced fumble, but it wasn't like a turnover on his part. But it just shows the type of playmaking that we missed out on. And then, was it in the second quarter, the second or the third quarter? I really forgot. But Mac Jones pump faked and really thought that he'd get Ramsey. He didn't even move a muscle, and then he ended up picking that ball off and returning it like 40 yards down the sideline. Honestly, I thought he could have gone a bit further if he, moved out of the way of that blocker on the floor. But either way, whatever. I don't think anyone really cared. What a debut for that man, Jalen Ramsey. I'm excited to have him back. Already shows the type of impact that he's going to have. We didn't even have Xavier Howard yesterday. We didn't really see Nick Needham on the field much either. Speaking of injuries quickly, Connor Williams didn't play. He was active, but he didn't play. Kendall Lamb got hurt, which sucks, but he came back into the game. Robert Hunt got hurt. He didn't return. Really going to need him back because this O-line is a mess right now. At some point in the game yesterday, we had a backup left tackle because Lamb was out for a second, and then a backup left guard, a backup center, a backup right guard, and then Austin Jackson. So shout out to Austin Jackson, who hasn't gotten hurt this year, knock on wood somewhere, especially because he had those injury concerns, and he's the only guy who's been healthy on the line this year, which is great, but not great because nobody else has stayed healthy. But with the defense quickly, rush defense played well. Ramondre Stevenson didn't do much. So same with Zeke. He had a couple third down runs, but whatever. The pass defense, they played good as well. They brought pressure onto Mac Jones. That's what I asked for. That's what we got. Mac Jones didn't even throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field probably. The one throw he did, it was picked off by Ramsey. Shows you why he didn't do that. But for the offense, I want to talk about that for a second because week 2, Raheem Mostert had a very big game. Tyreek Hill to Jalen Waddle didn't really at all. And it looks like in this game they might have adjusted a little bit more for the rush because Mostert didn't have a big game. Neither did Wilson or any of the other guys or Ahmed. But Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle really went off. So I don't really know what they were trying to do. Maybe it was Bill Belichick adjusting more for the run while also trusting the pass defense, which didn't really work out. Or it was McDaniel who changed everything up and wanted to get the ball to Tyreek and Waddle, which is exactly what happened. That's why I knew this coaching matchup was going to be huge. Belichick versus McDaniel, and it proved to be. I would say Belichick basically won the first matchup. I know the Dolphins won that game, but they really slowed down Tyreek and Waddle, which is all you want to do when you're playing a team like the Dolphins. But yeah, man, they ended up winning that game, and it was a smooth game. We only won the game by 14 points, but to me, it wasn't the most perfect game because that interception by Tua, it was like on a 3rd and 15, and I think he either didn't see Kyle Duggar or thought that Tyreek was going under Duggar instead of over him, and obviously he went over him instead, and he was just waiting there for the ball. Tyreek Hill it was, but it wasn't the cleanest game. It wasn't the most perfect game. Tua still missed 15 passes. There was an interception there, no fumbles or anything like that. There wasn't any stupid flags, I would say. But yeah, it was a good game all around. We won the game by 14 points, but honestly, we were killing the Patriots basically the whole game after they went up 7-0. But huge game. Huge game versus the Chiefs next week in Germany. I think Holland will be back for that game. Brandon Jones also got hurt towards the end of the game. That was a really bad play by Juju Smith-Schuster on his part. I don't know why. There's really no need for doing all that. But yeah, man, I think Holland should be back. We'll see if Brandon Jones is going to be healthy next week. We'll see if Robert Hunt's going to be healthy. Teron Armstead won't play. We'll see about Kendall Lamb and his status. Isaiah Wynn won't play. Hopefully Connor Williams will be back. If not, we'll see, because Eichenberg didn't even play that bad today, but will they keep him in versus Chris Jones next week in Germany? We'll see. Then they get Connor Williams with that extra week of rest. We'll see what happens in practice on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday over in Frankfurt. Is it? I really don't even know. But yeah, man, Dolphins complete the sweep on the Patriots once again. Tua's what? Is that 6-0 versus Bill Belichick in his career? I might be wrong, but it's 5-0, 6-0, something like that. And yeah, we don't have to worry about playing the Patriots. We play the Jets still twice, and then of course we play the Bills Week 18 at Hard Rock Stadium. But yeah, man, we're doing pretty well against AFC East opponents so far this year. Only 2-1, but still 3 more games to go. Either way, that'll wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace.